Thank you. My name is Kala Ramachandran. I live in the UK at the moment. I'm going to share my slides of the presentation for today, so please bear with me. Hi, first of all, thank you to Tom, Trisha, and all the organizing members of the committee who have worked really hard and are still working really hard to bring this event quite successful. And thank you to all the participants who are quite keen to listen to my life story. And I really hope that you will take something from this presentation and try to apply if you can in your daily life. The picture on the slide here is my from my recent climb. I climbed a place called Mera Peak in Himalaya. This was taken just last month on the 15th of April. This picture is quite special to me because I got the mountaineering boots and I got crampons on it. And this was, I was trying to practice to cross a crevasse around a meter length of crevasse around 5,000 meters height. So that is a quite epic shot actually. So who am I? I was born in Malaysia back in 1970s. Tamil is my mother tongue. English is my third language. So you can see I'm an English non-native speaker. I was a fluent speaker until the age of 9, until suddenly I started to develop blocks in my speech. My dad was a disabled person and he had a mental health illness and he was on ongoing medication for the entire life, that as far as I know. I was the third child in my family, and for no reason, my dad got really angry towards us and towards me and my siblings. My father was a teacher, so I went to the same school where he taught me. And one of the custom in Malaysian school, this is back in 1980s actually, that when the school teacher asks us to read a paragraph from textbook or reference book, we need to stand up and we have to read. There was one occasion where my dad, he asked me to read some passages. And then I started to stumble. As you know, as I say, I was a fluent speaker before. I can read quite well, and all of a sudden, I started to have blocks in the, in the words. And there's not just one word couldn't come out, but there were many words stuck in my mouth actually. And as I said, my dad is quite, he gets angry quite quickly towards me or my siblings. And, in 1980s, it's quite common to school teachers to have cane in their hands, actually. And he got really angry towards me because I couldn't read, and he caned me for each and every word that stuck in my mouth, actually. And that was quite a traumatic experience to go through as a child, because sometimes I wondered, why did my dad do that towards me actually? No, after all, he's my father. He should have done that actually. But in any case, in the same year, he was my geography teacher, and he started to talk about mountains in the classroom. And he said that the first woman to climb Mount Everest, the highest mountain in the world, is Mount Everest. And the first woman to climb Mount Everest is Jankatabe, and that's what went into my mind, that I will be the next one to climb Mount Everest. And that's where my life purpose began, actually. As you know, we have as a stammerer, as a stutterer, as a person who have blocks in my speech. There were so many hurdles, there's so many obstacles, so many struggles, in almost every day in life. But somehow, as I'm getting older, things getting better, I might say though. So public speaking was the hardest one to do that. And I was quite intelligent student in my school. And my dad usually gave me public speaking opportunities. So it's just hard the heartbeat usually goes really high and the face got really hot, you know, and I perspired a lot, and, you know, and performing on the stage was the hardest one, to be honest. And the school gave me a leadership roles in to take part in many events, and I just couldn't do it, you know. I just sort of reject them, and I grew up really quiet, you know, so reserved. And there were many times I couldn't even say my own name, you know? And I still remember that my I think I must be just like 13-year-old, and the discipline teacher walked in my classroom and he asked us to tell our names and introduce ourselves, and I couldn't even say my own name. And how can this happen to, you know? It took a while. Even before it took a while, the teachers just shouted at me and said that, have you got a diamond in your mouth that you can't even say your own name, actually, you know? So yeah, days were really hard, wasn't easy, you know, but there was this a South Indian poet that we learned about his poems quite a lot when we were young, actually. And one of his poem was no fear, even if the sky fall down on your head. And how far is my head, and how far is the sky? So far away. And how can this, even if the sky fall down on my head, I shouldn't actually feel so afraid to speak to anybody. You know, that was my motivation, you know. Every day when I walked to my high school, I just chant those like a mantras in my heart, just to be brave myself every day, you know, whether to speak to school teachers or to strangers, or even after I finished my universities and applying for jobs and stuff like that, just, you know, just tell myself that I need to be brave, you know, never to be afraid of anybody, you know, to voice out what I want to say and things like that. So with all the struggles I had, my main focus was to get quite good academic results, actually. So I make sure that I really study hard, you know, investing so many hours at home, not just going to school, but extra hours at home, study to revise, got really good results in my high school, and then went to university and I got a degree in economics and business, and then to get a good degree, basically to get a good job. Now, the reason to get a good job is I want to climb Everest, and Everest is big money. And who's going to sponsor me? It's so hard to find money, isn't it? So that is one of the reasons why I make sure that I had a good education, you know, good degree, and I'm still studying, to be honest, still studying for a professional qualifications and so on. So education is something that I won't gamble with, you know. I will take it really, really seriously when it comes to education, actually. So nobody knows that about my stammer, and there was no support in school, and there was no therapy available. And the way I managed it at that time was I started to choose or select certain words that I can say easily without stuttering or stammering, and I became what is known as covert stammerer, because I didn't know, there was no therapy at all, you know. And you know, word like WHO words, what, where is something that I would really struggle to say. And rather than asking what is your name, I would say, can you tell me what your name is? So I will try to, the meaning is still the same, but I will try to find another way to manage my stammer, actually. And for me, that was my therapy. You know, I didn't know who to speak to about my stammer or my block speech around that time, actually. Yeah, but nevertheless, the dream my dad gave to me is what made me as a person. I'm going to share the next slide with you. yeah, here you can see that there are a number of big mountains that I've climbed, either back in Malaysia or in South America or Africa or Russia or Himalaya, and a few different countries actually. I started to climb in 1997, so a really long time ago actually. So I climbed the same mountain, Mount Kinabalu, which is the highest in Southeast Asia actually. Climbed twice in that year, and then I did small but hardest. The small one is sometimes can be quite hard ones to climb actually. And then I went to Himalaya in 2016, and I went last year. I went last month. I went 3 times to Himalaya. I went to South America in 2016. Went to Aconcagua base camp, 4,300 meters. I went to Everest, Russia in 2018. And I frequently now go to Swiss Alps to try to do some winter climb, which I find quite interesting to do actually. So you can see that from someone who have blocks in speech, and having the dream in my life is made the person I am. And I'm not sure whether I'm going to climb Everest or not, but it's a journey for me because it's the hard one. It's not an easy climb. Climbing Everest is really, really hard, and but that's what it's actually kept me going actually. Now, back in 2015, actually, I was about to go to Everest Base Camp, and a week before the expedition, there was a deadliest earthquake around Himalaya and Kathmandu. I think over 8,000 people were killed, and thought about me that I might have died or might have perished in the climb, in the climb or in the earthquake, made me to realize that it's a time for me to put my stories in a book actually, because otherwise the world wouldn't know that how much struggles I went through as a child. And because it's all very genuine experience. There was, everything was the truth. And I was just thinking that my generations, my children need to know the stories, and other stammerers need to know the story. And therefore, I published a book called Shouting from the Summits, and it's here. And if you click the link, that will take you to Amazon website. And I can share the link as well. And the book is available to buy either hard copies or on Kindle edition actually. And here I did mention that the dedication for this book is actually for my late dad and mother and my 2 children, and also all the stammerers in the world. And this was published in 2016. And how grateful I am to get a chance to speak today. And thanks to Tom for that, actually. After 5 years, is it 5 years? Sorry, after 7 years, I got this opportunity to speak. Thanks, Tom, to you. Yeah, and I'm going to read, if you allow me, I'm going to read a paragraph on this book. Which is from page number 80. There's a purpose in life. Find it, go for it, try it, do it, and succeed in it. The very important message about searching for the purpose of life is that you must never harm any living being, physically, emotionally, and mentally. Not even in your thoughts. There is no shortcut to being successful. You will be blessed when you are ready to take on the challenge. Let your dream lead to your passionate life with family, friends, and others. Compliment yourself even on small achievements. Even if you don't succeed, the process of achieving through your dream is well worth it, because there is only one life to live on this Mother Earth. And that life is short, so live fully. you will soon realize that self-conscious, self-esteem, persistent, structured approach, consistency, and better communication skills will ultimately be your personality traits. So that's one paragraph from the book, but please grab a copy of my book and have a read and get inspired, please, because 20 minutes is not enough for me to inspire the entire crowd. Yeah.
Well, we knew that you were special, and we were right. Thank you for being here with us today. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Did you have some more thoughts? I'm sorry. I didn't know you were still.
Yeah, I got 2 more slides.
Go. Yes. Yes, but we have plenty of time. It's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Oh, sorry. I should stop there. Just 1 second. To make this bigger. Okay, I want to make this bigger. Just 1 second, please.
Wow.
Yeah, this is the one. So what change can we make to ourselves? What can we do actually? I think that are for me today, just 4 points I want to just remind upon. Basically, love myself, love you, love your own self. The reason is when you love your own self and then you appreciate, you respect your own self actually, and you create a self-confidence, self-esteem, and it's all about positive things about yourself actually, and that is really important actually. The reason is, there's so many non-stammerers outside, and we exposed to them and they laugh at us, and they make a funny face towards us, but when you start to love yourself, that you're quite unique person, that you're quite rare individual, you are quite special. Not everybody stammers, but you stammer, you stutter, you have blocks in speech, and you're a very gifted person. Therefore, love yourself first rather than hating actually, and that should be inside you basically, Number 2 is non-visible to visible. So make yourself visible to outsiders, speak, and how to do that. Many times people don't tell you how to do that. They just tell you, they just give comments. But how to do that? Have a goal in your life, whether it's a sports or jobs or education or family. And the goal needs to be something that you're so passionate about it. And you need to have the fire in the belly. And you need to create that excitement. So when you make yourself visible, and you have that inside you to talk about it, and you feel so excited and you have all the positivity around you, and that's important. And number 3 is tell yourself it's okay to stammer. It's okay. It's all right to stammer. And I hide my blocks in speech for so many years, and I was a covert stammerer because I didn't have therapy at all. But now it's a different world we are in, So it's okay to stammer. It's all right to stutter. It's okay to have a blocks in speech. Let others see us, So make yourself visible. Just go out there and talk and speak. Let others to understand how you feel about it, And then the number 4 is, that I'm being a climber myself, and it's important that we keep fit and stay healthy, and that is so important. When you do exercise, your body changes actually, so and that make yourself really feel really good, which is comes back to point number one, basically love yourself actually, so pick up an exercise or and sports activity, or try something new. And it's never too late to learn anything new in life actually. And so that is my something that I would like to pass. I know there's a long list, but I think there's 4 important points that is, it doesn't matter what age we are, and we can always apply, we can always look at this back, and it's all interrelated to each other. And this is actually coming from my own self and being a person who talks in my speech actually. And then the last slide is I have a collection of some pictures and a video clip, and I hope I'm allowed to share this here. So that'll be my final slide. Thank you.
Holy smokes. It's like lifting a truck.
Hi, Tom. Thank you.